just quickly on the Bears coaching search, they started the process today. Now these are the confirmed names that they are either going to interview or they have reached out for permission to interview or just reached out to the schedule in general. So of course, Ryan Poles said they will be interviewing Thomas Brown. I think that there's nothing wrong. I know I saw people say, "What's the point of interviewing him after what he did?" Look, man, these people are also people. You know what I'm saying? He's been with the team all year. You know, he had a tough job. You at least get a nigga interview. He's not gonna get hired. And even if you listen from Thomas Brown's post game speech and even his interview at the podium today, and also his interview with Jeff Joniak, he knows he's not coming out, but he's gonna be interviewed. Ben Johnson, that was one of the first reports this morning. The Bears are reaching out to him. Now, remember, teams that are in the playoffs right now, they can be interviewed via Zoom. They can't be in person until the team gets eliminated. So Ben Johnson, they reach out to Ben Johnson. Tom Pelissero says that he intends to meet with the Bears. Mike Vrabel will be interviewed by the Bears this week. Now, all signs point to this nigga going to New England. I think that's pretty much a foregone conclusion. But, you know, because of these new NFL rules, both of these teams still got to go through the process. So he's going to be up. They reached out to Aaron Glenn, who's the Lions defensive coordinator. Great performance by them last night. This was a head scratcher. Mike Kafka, he's the Giants offensive coordinator. I don't get that one at all. Vance Joseph, the Broncos defensive coordinator. Drew Petzing, the Cardinals offensive coordinator. I don't get that one either. I know he got ties with Ryan Poles at Boston College. Anthony Weaver, which is the name we heard over the weekend, he is the Dolphins defensive coordinator. Arthur Smith, who former Falcons head coach, is currently the Steelers offensive coordinator. They've reached out to the Steelers for permission to interview him. Brian Flores, who's the Vikings defensive coordinator. News came out there, Mike McCarthy. Now, they're reaching out to Mike McCarthy for permission from the Cowboys, but they don't need permission after the 14th when McCarthy's contract runs out. And then we got a little nugget today that Jerry Jones said he would allow Mike McCarthy to interview other teams, but he said he would quickly shut down the door because he doesn't want to keep somebody here who doesn't want to be here. So that's an interesting wrinkle. And then one last name that was added before we got on air, Todd Monken, who was the Ravens offense coordinator. The Ravens have the number one ranked offense in the NFL. Those are going to be the guys. Now, I see a lot of people, well, why they interviewing him? Why they interviewing that? Now, I do want to see Liam Cohen and Joe Brady added to his list. I see no reason why they wouldn't. But I'm just going to say this. We don't need to overreact over every name that's being interviewed. It's a process. Just be interviewed doesn't mean they're going to be hired. And I understand the Bears do not deserve the benefit of the doubt. So whatever. You want to act how you want to act, but you're going to be doing a lot if you're going to be doing that. It's going to be a thorough search. I look at this list. To me, it's a healthy dose of offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. I don't want a defensive head coach. I am all Ben Johnson in. Now, there was news that looked like he was going to go to Jacksonville. But then this morning, stunning news, they're keeping their general manager, Trent Baalke. And that's something that a whole bunch of NFL media and people in the league have said they can't believe that the Jaguars did. So that kind of takes away Ben Johnson out of that. So now the Jaguars are handing Ben Johnson the Bears on a silver platter. The Bears just need to not Bears it. But until I see a text or tweet from Schefter or Rappaport or Biggs or whoever says that the Bears are expected to announce Ben Johnson as their whatever coach, I'm going to expect the Bears to fuck this up. Let's quickly go through this, and we got a quick couple about D-Rose, and we're going to bring in Courtney. Mikey, what's your early thoughts on the process for the new head coach?
Only thing I care about is that it's an offensive-minded person. The Bears were 32nd in total offense. They were 31st in passing yards per game. They were 25th in rushing per game, 28th in points per game. It says it right there where the need is. Go and get you an offensive guy. I do hope it's Ben Johnson. I have been the number one Ben Johnson to Jacksonville guy for the last few weeks. But that was under the assumption that Trent Baalke was going to be gone because that's what we had been hearing, that, you know, they were going to clean house there and go all in. So the fact that they're keeping him, he's much more egregious than anything Ryan Poles has done. So, you know, hopefully, like you said, we can go ahead and get somebody like Ben Johnson. I I just hope to hear that we are going to be interviewing Joe Brady and Liam Cohen soon too.
Bang, what's your early thoughts on this process?
I mean, I actually would not mind Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm not a big Mike McCarthy fan, but for somebody who has experience, who has won everywhere he's went, he has a Super Bowl. When we talk about experience and who somebody who has groomed quarterbacks, he groomed Aaron Rodgers. He had great seasons with good seasons with Dak Prescott. Like I don't see nothing wrong with Mike McCarthy because he's been there. However, I don't want Mike McCarthy. I'm just saying I don't mind him.
Mike
It's not
McCarthy's like if you can't get none of the big names.
right. It's like, yo, I can't no when Mike McCarthy is like when your mom say, yo,
We got Mike Holmgren at
we
home.
yeah, we got Big Macs at home, fam. We need to make one.
We
That's
got
Mike
Mike Holmgren
McCarthy.
at home.
And then you know your mom make good hamburgers, so you like, man, I want McDonald's, but fuck it, mom straight with the hamburger and fries. I want Ben Johnson though, for multiple reasons. One, I mean, I just love what the Detroit Lions. I know what I said about Detroit Lions, y'all. I love what was going on over there. The other thing that I love is that you're depleting your division rival. And with Aaron Glenn looking like he's going to go to New Orleans, and then you have Ben Johnson, then you deplete that, and then you'll really see who over there running things. You might even be able to get a couple of people off of the staff and everything too. So that's what I would love off of the strength of not just I believe in Ben Johnson, but you take away pieces of a coaching staff that's really making the Detroit Lions the team that they are right now.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not